Hi, it's Monday, October 27th, and we're almost to Halloween Day. I tried my costume on earlier, it seems to be okay. I think I might wear it Thursday and Friday, but I have a movie to review, and it was another good one. So, Saturday afternoon, I went to the 11 o'clock showing of Frankenstein. I was gonna wait till it came on Netflix, but I saw like one review and I was like, man, I could go see it. I saw it like the review like Friday night, and I was I could go in the morning and see it. Just because I don't want to sit there for like 2.5 hours, 3 hours. Like when you leave for the theater, get there, you pay, you sit down, and then you got the trailers and everything. So I was like, it's gonna be like 3 hours, and then like I had to stop. I had to stop at the store and the library afterwards, so it's gonna be like all afternoon. But then I was like, well, what else am I gonna do? So I went to see it, and I thought it was great. Kind of lost track with Guillermo del Toro with Nightmare Alley. Just saw it. I didn't like it. Crimson Peak. I haven't seen it. I remember I got it from the library, and I watched it like the first 20 minutes, and then I never finished it. I was like, Crimson Peak should be good. And I've actually never even watched Shape of Water all the way through. It looked good. So it just seemed like Guillermo del Toro was getting away from like movies like definitely like Blade 2 and Hellboy and even Kronos and Devil's Backbone. But it all doesn't matter because Frankenstein was great. I was telling my friend, like, I just assumed that he was going to stick more to the book. But as I watched it, it seems like he's making his version of the black and white movie. Um, but first of all, like, I usually don't say this or don't notice, but and the costumes in this were amazing. Like the actress that plays Victor's mother, she's in this like red gown with like a veil all over her. She looks like I don't know, like a sci-fi queen. And again, I was telling my friend, I was like, man, what would the Hobbit have been like? If Guillermo directed it. I was like, probably would have. I like the Hobbit already, but it would have been maybe better. It's got Charles Dance in it. You know Charles Dance, right? Golden Child villain and the Last Action Hero. He's really good. Um, but yeah, it seemed like at first Guillermo was doing his version. Like I said, he wanted to do his version of the black and white movie, and then in the middle, towards the end, he started to do the book. Which I'm really glad I read the book. I guess it could go either way because I just read the book recently, and I've seen all these Frankenstein movies, and I haven't seen the black and white one in a long time. I would like to see it again, but there's like very little taken from the book for that one, and there's a lot of stuff that Guillermo left out in his movie, and I wonder, like, I'm sure he gets the book and what it's about, but they seem to leave a lot of that out. There's a big chunk of like working on the device to bring the creature to life. That's not in the book at all. They, Shelley skips that part, and when the creature does come to life, Victor just wakes up, or I don't, he's like in his room and he turns around, and the creature's there, and they like scare each other, and the monster runs away. Like it immediately takes off, and it's just gone. That doesn't happen in the book. You do get the part with the creature when he tells his story about he lived around his family, which is a big chunk of the book too. I think I remember it's a very seemed like a very important part in the book, and that's in the movie, which was cool. But he changes that too, just maybe just to make it more like exciting. What happens in the movie? Because the book is kind of like boring in a way, but it's really good. Now that I've read it, and even as I was reading it, like, there's a part in the book. I think it's like a maid that takes care of a Victor's brother, who in the book is much younger than in the movie. And there's a part with this maid like talking about because she's been accused of murder and they're gonna put her to death. And I really like that part where she's like begging for not begging, but she's just saying like how she's gonna die and like what her life meant. I think. And then there's the same thing like that with Victor's mother when she dies and she's talking to him on her deathbed, and that's not in the book either. And I think those things are important to the book. But I mean, it's a movie. But someone should make like a faithful adaptation of the book someday. And the monster, it looked cool. The actor's great. And I just forget. Guillermo just loves monsters. But again, I was telling my friend just can't get away from that. The bolts and the flat head and the black coat and the big boots. And that's could you? I don't think that could be done nowadays. But it's just too iconic of a look. And it won't be topped. So like I was watching this movie and I was like, every way this movie's superior, but maybe the black and white one's still better. It's just like King Kong with the Peter Jackson King Kong. I liked it, but after a while, like I hated King Kong in it. And the new like Skull Island, they're good, but there's just something about that old black and white movie with the little puppet. So Frankenstein's like that too. Uh, I really liked Oscar Isaac. I like stopped liking him. He's cool in like Force Awakens, and he's just been in everything so much. I got like tired of him, but then I saw him in Moon Knight, and I liked him in that. And he's good in this. He's very like unlikable, which I thought that's really cool. Like he'll do things like after I was like, man, I do not like Victor anymore. He's very charismatic, but it gets to a point I was like, dude, you're just messing up at every turn. Mia Goth is great. I like her. She can be really annoying. Her voice is really annoying, but she's not in this. I thought she's very sympathetic. She's very sad. Uh, she feels so much sympathy for the monster. There's a part where she's walking down these steps and it's like see-through gown, and I was oh, we'll see some nudity. We can get a little glimpse, but no, she's got underwear on. I was like, God damn you, Goth. Let's see it. That's what I paid for. There is another girl. You see her bush, and I was surprised. You even see Victor's bush a little bit. And the girl that they show naked, she's wearing like some cloth on her that you can see through. And she's like a chubby little girl or woman, not a girl, a chubby little woman. And I was like, man, I wonder maybe she kind of has that 1800s body type. And you get to see her, so that was cool. That's not in the book either. There's nothing like that in the book at all. Christoph Waltz plays I can't remember his name, but he's like a Victor's benefactor that pays for everything. He's not in the book. Um, Mia Goth plays Elizabeth, but in the book she's like they found her when she was a child. Like her parents were poor, and the Frankensteins just took her in and kind of raised her to be Victor's wife. In the movie, she's his brother's girlfriend, soon to be bride. Yeah, it just changed so much. But then there's a stuff in Antarctica. Are they in Antarctica? The snow and ice. That's in the book. Like that, like bookends the movie. And then they got to a point and the movie went by pretty quickly for 2 hours and 20 minutes. And I'm glad again I read the book because it got to a point I was like, okay, it's ending. It's got to end. There's nothing else unless he just adds a bunch of stuff, but he didn't. Those parts were cool. And there's one part where you see the creature standing in the ice and snow far away watching Victor. And I was like, there it is. That's the book. One 10-second scene, and it was worth it. Like very few movies about books capture like the essence of it, but I was hoping we would see that because that's in the book. So there's one scene which is really good. It's pretty violent. I wasn't expecting that. Like a lot of dead body. Yeah. It also reminded me of like Reanimator, Return of the Living Dead, Lovecraft. And I was like, this all comes from Shelley. Like she's so awesome. She wrote this book when she was 18, and she's just influenced generations of like creative people. Done Frankenstein so many times. Now I want to see more Frankenstein to see how other people interpret it. Because basically he's just a zombie. But yeah, he talks, and he's talked in other movies. He's got long hair. He's really tall, and he wears like furs. And he's got like lines. Yeah, you see lots of body. Yeah, it's like an abattoir with all the body parts that Victor's going through and bodies from war. There's a funny part where he's going to the gallows to get like picking men that are going to be hung. And one dude is like, dude, you're lucky you're getting hung. You're going to be dead in a month anyway. So mean. What else? Yeah, just everything's practical. I don't know. There's got to be some CGI in here, but I couldn't tell. So, Frankenstein. Just makes me wonder what's Guillermo gonna do next. He's done vampires. He's done the creature from the Black Lagoon. Now he's done Frankenstein. He should do Dr. Jekyll and Hyde again, or Phantom of the Opera. I wonder if he said, I remember in an interview, he said that he wanted to make the ultimate Mexican wrestler vampire movie. I still want to see that. But until then, you can go see Frankenstein. I think it's still in the theater. It's going to be on Netflix, but I'm really glad I saw it in the theater. And I was kind of dozing off in the beginning. I was just tired. But yeah, when Frankenstein attacks the boat in the beginning, that woke me up. And like you'll see the gore real quick. Like they don't focus on it, but like you'll see it like, holy, he just ripped that dude's head off, or like ripped his face off, like tore an arm off here. And Frankenstein gets messed up pretty bad. So yeah, there was a lot more action and violence and gore, which is none in the book. I mean, yeah, but the book is really good too. So it's Frankenstein, a well-made movie, the one that I enjoyed amidst the detritus and awful that I've watched like on my computer. Everything, yeah, I've been streaming more and everything's terrible. So, yeah, give it a solid four and four and a half. It's just something, yeah, just because it lives in the shadow of the Karloff of Frankenstein. Takes off that half a point. I would give it four. It takes off a point because it's a remake of just a classic movie. But that's it. We're almost done. Still wondering if I'm gonna get sick on Halloween like I did last year. And I gotta work. Usually I have help on Friday, and I forgot I'm not gonna be there, so I'm gonna have to work like a normal day. Every Friday I get out early now, or lately. It's ebbs and flows. Sometimes I gotta stay. Like I've left. It's weird my job. Like I can be there till like 4. If it's busy, or I can leave like at 12. If it's slow. It's a big chunk of time difference. But Frankenstein, yeah, go see it in the theater.